good morning this morning. We are on the Salt Lake Motor Speedway here. We are going to get ready for racing here any minute now. The pace car is on the track and the racers are ready to roll. Now let me tell you, this is an interesting racetrack here. You have all different types of racing vehicles, and here at Salt Lake Motor Speedway, they like to throw in a little bit of challenges. I mean, they do their construction during the race, so you might come into constructions and sites, and you just have to deal with that in this racing endeavor here. Now we have a few newcomers to the race today. We got Alan's Transport right up in front of me in here, and I'll tell you, he's got a little bit of an advantage on it because he's got that dozer on there, you see, and he's got a little bit of width on him, you see, and race cars just don't want to tickle that corner of that dozer blade, I'll tell you. Now, the weird thing about this race is you'll have some oncoming traffic coming on, and you want to be not in the far right lane because that sometimes will tend to slow you down on the racetrack here, people. So, as we're coming up to the starting line here, I'll tell you, it is gonna be a close race, real close. So, you know, it's quite the racing experience. If you have never experienced this race, you should come on out here to Utah and give it a try. You know, it's a little bit different. You know, since the virus has hit, you know, it might be a little bit less vehicles on the racetrack today, but needless to say, I'm looking forward for a real good, clean race today. It might not be too clean, but you know what I'm saying. It's a real good, nice day today. Nice blue sky, not a cloud in the sky, and it's going to be about 90 plus degrees today, and the tires should warm up nicely on this racetrack. Shouldn't have too much problem with pit stopping, but you never know. You know, people might have to get off, change out their tires. You don't know about that yet, but we'll find out when the race starts here how long it'll last. But hopefully we can get through this mess and get out the other side. You know what I'm saying? So any input over there, Fred? Well, you know, it's a real nice day. I'm just saying, you really hit it there on the head there, Bill. Let me tell you, this racetrack is one of the toughest racetracks I've ever seen. You really got to focus on staying alert because you never know when one of them other race cars might just cut you off, and you come into them construction zones and you just don't know what you're gonna get yourself into. Sometimes you got some race cars that'll just drive right on through it, not a big deal, and then other ones, they get all panicky, handy-panty, and they slam on the brakes, and the whole racetrack comes to a halt. They have to bring the pace car out, you know, got to swerve back and forth, keep the tires warm. But you know, we expect a real good race today. It looks like a real nice day there, Bill. Yes, it does. Hopefully we can get through it today. It's looking real good, you know. The race is getting ready to start up here, so we'll see what's going down here in a little bit here. We'll be right back at you after these sponsors. Well, folks, welcome back. We're just moments away to the start of the race. Everybody's getting into the starting positions. It's looking like going to be a real good day today. I expect a lot of this Alan Transport. He is going to move up in the race, I think, and possibly make it out the other side pretty good there. Now, there is going to be some people coming up behind him, you know, but I think that it's going to be a real good race today. So we'll get on down here a little ways further, and I believe it's going to start up here shortly. Well, folks, it looks like we're going to get into Greenbrier Racing here. It looks like Allen Transport's going to make his move. He's going to pull to the left side and run around these two vans right up here. It's looking real good. Now, we got a little action happening on the right-hand lanes, and it is looking like they're getting through it. We're coming up about 9 miles up here. We're going to be into some construction, and it's going to get a little interesting right there. So, but so far, it's going to be a good, clean race here, folks. It's looking real good. Now, Allen Transport is moving back over. He is getting into that lane right there, and he is gonna probably hold that lane until he finds an obstruction. Now, he might be thinking he's gonna go up here to the next obstruction and come to the left a little bit. We'll see what happens when we come up the road here a little bit. It's looking real good. Now, you got a lot of racers today, I'm telling you. It's going to be a real interesting race. A lot of stuff happening. You know, you never know what's going to happen. But it's looking real good. But we'll see what's going on up here. And it's looking real good. Oh my God, that Honda is going to be moving. And you got that Cadillac. Black Cadillac, they're bringing up, they're going to split him down the middle there, and it is going, I'm telling you, it is a hot race today. Looks like the Black Cadillac is pulling away from the white Honda, but needless to say, he might get into a slowdown up there with that Black Cadillac, but you never know. But boy, they blew past Allen Transport like he was standing still. But don't put your bricks in all one basket here real quick here. I mean, there's still a lot of racing going on. There a lot of blacktop left to go. Now, we got yourself a Lexus here. He's bringing up the left-hand side of Allen Transport. Now, it looks like Allen Transport is running a little slow. Black Ford is moving up behind that Lexus. Now, it looks like the Black Ford's moving a little bit faster than Lexus. Holy moly, that BMW is going to blow past them in the damn express lane. Now, that is one of the advantages of having the express lane over there. It looks like the Ford's going to move on over there and maybe take advantage of that. I don't know if he can stay in that lane, but we'll see how that goes. Folks, it's looking like a real interesting race today. Looking real good here. Well, we'll get right back to you after these sponsors. Looking real good today. Looks like we're coming into a bit of the construction I was talking about on this this race here. They do a little bit of this zig and zag in there, but I'll tell you what, the cars and vehicles on this track today, they are just, it's not a deterrent to them. They are just rolling. They're moving right along there. I tell you, it's an interesting race how this thing goes here, folks. Now that Chevy right there seems to be going along in there pretty good. He's gonna bang it on in there and blow past Allen Transport there, but it's looking real close there. This Transport up here, now let me tell you, he is moving right along. It looks pretty good, you know. I don't know how he's gonna fare in the leaderboard, but it looks like he might make it through the race. But you know, there's still a lot of open road left to go, folks. You never know. People are moving in this race here. It's kind of hard to keep it, you know, you need to get, maybe turn to the other channel and get up there to the front of the race and see how that's looking up there. But right now, it's looking like there's a lot of cars moving on up in the race here. Now, like this Nissan, this white Nissan, he is not going too fast, but he is faster than this Transport up in front of us. So let's see how it goes. We are coming into the construction area here. There's several of them on this race. You never know what you're going to get when you get to the construction sites, because there's just some racers that they get a little scared sometimes and they slam on their brakes, and it pretty much brings the whole race to a stop almost. You never know. Now he is blowing past this this white KW here that's pulling some, looks like some sign deals. Now it looks like, now you got the cops up here, and it looks like he might have pulled over one of the race car drivers. I don't think that racer's having a good day. He might have been doing a little too fast. Now, I didn't mention that this race, you have to stick in the parameters of the speed. Now, sometimes you can get away with going a little faster, and sometimes you can't. And apparently that one right there, he got caught, you know. But you never know. So, but it's looking like the left-hand lane up here, people are moving on it. I mean, they're moving up. Now, it's looking real good. We'll see how it goes. Look, like that Toyota right there, that Camry. It's not going too fast, but it's moving. But now you got the cop seat, and it's you gotta obey the speeds, or they'll pull your ass over. I swear. You need to keep it in the parameters, because if you don't, you're going to jail. So, anyways, we're going to move on up here a little bit further, and we'll get back to you after these spots. Now, you see that Honda, that Honda's two vehicles right there, they seem to be going a little bit faster, but they are keeping up with the copper up there. So you never know. But this one right here, this Jeep, if he got around that cop, I think that highway patrol right there would probably pull him over. Now oh my goodness, we got a little KW pulling a roll off. He's in the far left lane, and he is trucking with the rest of the vehicles. I don't know how that's going to work out for him, but he is passing this transport. So we'll see how it goes. It's looking real good though, folks. It's looking real good. We're moving on up in the leaderboard here. But you never can tell how the race is going to end till it ends. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff could be happening. You just never know. We did go into a little bit of a split lane here. So we got, the racetrack is actually two different ways. So we got some on the other side of this wall over here to our right. And that's still, those folks are still in the race. Now we're coming back into it. We're going to start tying back in, and we're going to all join back on the road here. It's looking real good. Now, that little van right there looks like, you know, he's little, he's nimble, and he's gonna roll right past the transport on the right. And then we got this Yukon pulling this trailer. He's gonna go. He's got a little problem with his axle on his trailer. It looks like he might have fucked it up somewhere. I don't think those tires are supposed to be bent in, but maybe it is a really heavy built trailer. You can put a big load on it and it'll flatten that axle out. I'm not sure. We got this hook and grab right here. We are pulling around him. He is not gonna, looks like Allen Transport's making his move. He's gonna move over. Looks like he's gonna try to draft that Yukon up there with that goofied up trailer axle. We'll see how that goes. The black Chevy here is gonna take the far left side and get around Allen Transport, because he does not want the corner of that dozer digging to the side of that black beauty right there. I tell you, you never know what you're gonna get in this race. It's looking like the racers are clearing up a little bit here. A little bit of a light stretch here, but that Ford with the utility box on it, he's making his move. I'm telling you, it's really a close race today, folks. We'll be back at you here shortly. Don't go away. Okay, welcome folks back. It's looking like we're coming into another construction zone. It's going to get a little bit interesting here, people. Looks like Alan, the transport over there, he's moved over one lane. It's looking real good. Now we got vehicles coming up on the left side, and they are rolling through this construction zone here at a pretty good clip. I believe they are going faster than the posted speed, but I guess luckily for them, there is no authority to pull them over right now. Looks like Alan, that transport driver up there, is moving up the road, passing vehicles out. There's a minivan coming in behind him. Oh, and I got a pickup up there. Looks like he's trying to draft a little bit, but I don't know how that's going to work with him, with the vehicle behind him. It looks like it might be a Ford. I'm not sure what it is, but it is drafting the transport right now. Looks like he is going to move up, but the guys on the left-hand side are just smoking them. I mean, it seems to be that might be the lane of choice. I'm not sure. People are moving up on the right, but we'll see how this goes. There's a little bit of debris in the track right there, but it's looking real good. The transport is moving on up. Those vehicles are still drafting behind him. We'll see how the transport driver plays this. He might shake them loose here shortly. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes, because you know, looks like one of them that is behind him is getting over into the left lane, because he looks like he figures that it might be. We got this Toyota, he's trying to get over, and that bucket truck, and the bucket truck scared the Toyota over. That is one of the interesting things about this race here in Salt Lake. A lot of people do things that you just don't know about. Now that bucket truck, he signaled to get over, but apparently he wasn't getting over, so threw a little curveball in it. We'll see how it goes here shortly. Welcome back, folks. I'm sorry, I had to get a drink of water there. I had a little something in my throat. It's tickling me, so we were getting back to going here. Looks like it's a nice day today. Still, racing is still in progress here. We are moving on up through the Salt Lake Valley here now. Let me tell you, folks, it's an interesting race. I forgot to mention there are two races going on today. One going this way and one going the other way. Now, we have northbound and southbound races, and just before I come back from the break there, I noticed on the southbound side, there is a big, wide, super wide load. They have officers escorted it. It looked like it was taken. Holy moly, that VW is moving on the left side. He is gonna blow past the transport and move on up the race to the leader. He's trying to catch the leader, it looks like. I don't know if he's gonna make it, but we'll see how it gets when we get on up here a little ways. But anyways, back to my what I was saying is the southbound side is it's got a wide load. I mean, a really wide load. Looks like it was taking up 3 lanes. That's how wide it was. They were moving up the race, so it looks like, but they're really holding up the racers behind them to getting around that thing. So interesting to see how that race pans out for that vehicle. Anyways, back at this race, it looks like this Kia can't make up its mind where it wants to go. He went by me pretty fast, but it looked like she wanted to get all the way over. over, but then she darted back into the race here. We'll see how that plays out. Now we got this Kia Soul. Some of you might know it as the gerbil machine. Didn't look like there was any gerbils in it, but it is moving up. It's getting behind the Allen Transport. It looks like it might be doing a little drafting right now. The Hyundai there on the left side, oh, it's pulling over to the right. Looks like it's going to go down the right side of the Transport. We got this Toyota. He freaked out because he seen that car coming up on the right of him. Thought he was going to get ran into. Car was a lane away from him, so he looks real good there. That GMC looks like it's moving up pretty good. Let me tell you, that express lane looks like the lane to be. If you could get in that express lane, you look like you could move on up the pack quite a ways there. This Ford Flex looks like it's gonna pull between me and the Transport. Yes, it is. Oh, he is going to the left. Looks like the real good movers are moving to the left there, folks. We're coming up to an interchange up here. It's going to be interesting. I tell you, it's going to be real interesting. We'll see how it gets when we get up here, but good clean racing today. So far, you know, I've seen a few people get pulled over, but it seems like a real good clean race. We'll see how it goes. Toyota boy here looks like he's moving on up. I don't know how he's gonna fare in the race here, but Mr. Toyota here looking pretty interesting. Now the Transport is gonna go past, looks like an Oshkosh cement truck. The cement truck drum is turning. He probably is loaded. You get all kinds of different vehicles on this race, folks. It's a real interesting race. He might not be loaded. Looks like all of his tires are not down right this moment, so looks like he's just maybe going back to the plant there. But you never know. One thing to note about this race here, people, is it is it's not a real fast race. But if you can make it to the other side, you've won the race, I tell you. Looks like the Transport's going to pull to the left. He's in that fast lane there, folks. It looks like he's going to go around this van, or he's going to try to attempt to get around that van. Notice that corner of that bit. It is hanging out there. These racers do not want to get a hold of that bit. They seem to hang away from it. Looks like he's going to make his move. He's making his move out around the left side of the van up here. Looking real good. The van looks like it might be a local delivery truck. It's got a lift gate on the back, but needless to say, the Transport did pass him. We'll see how it goes up the road here further, but looks like this red Ford wants to get around that van. That minivan right there is getting in the express lane. Now, I don't know if he is supposed to be able to cross that white line, but you never know. I'm not an expert on the express lane, but he did cross the double white line. I don't know if you can do that, but maybe you can. Looks like the van here is not gonna, it looked like it's speeding up a little bit. I don't know what his problem was back there, but it looks like he is speeding up a bit. Transport is up the road. That radio, that Ford is pulled in behind him. There is a car between him and the Transport. It is looking like real good there. Now notice this van coming on the racetrack here, folks. He is gonna get over. That sometimes slows down the racers a little bit, but if you're a good racer in this Salt Lake race, you never know what's gonna happen. Hopefully everybody makes it out the other side, but occasionally you might get a few wrecks in the deal. I'm not anticipating any wrecks at this moment, but earlier in the day, I'm pretty sure there was a few. probably later in the day you're going to get some more, but you never know. Now that red Ford, he's pulling off to the right there. He's going to get in the right lane. Apparently he's gonna hang in behind that red car. I don't know, red on red. Maybe that's the key in the race. You never know. People are moving to the right. I don't know if it's a real good choice, but they are moving faster than the center lane there. Now the transport's on the left-hand lane, going past that tanker there. Looks like he's moving up now. Looks like he's found his groove. He's getting a real good groove there. Little bit of working going on. So I tell you, there is a lot of interesting stuff on this race. You never know what you're going to get into when you get around these corners here. But we are moving up in the race here. It's looking real good. I'll have to get back with you after these sponsors, and we'll see how it goes. Well, folks, welcome back. It looks like we are gonna make it through the race here today, folks. Let me tell you, it was some real clean racing today. It was a little less hairy than it's been in the past. Looking real good. Got a few more short miles here for the end of the race, but it's looking like we're gonna make it out the other side. The transport up there has moved up to the I don't know if it's the lead of the pack, but he has moved up, and looks like he's cleared out around himself some vehicles. Now I'm sure there's a few vehicles that's gonna still get around him there, but it's looking like he might have got through it. Now let me tell you, running down this race here, it's not if you're in the lead or not, it's if you make it through. That if you make it through, you are a real winner. You never know if you're gonna make it or not. It sometimes is a little hairy, I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty good race, but it's looking like after all that treacherousness back there, it looks like we have made it through the race. Although it's looking a little congested up here, I don't know if we're gonna make it all the way through, but we'll see here shortly. We still got the few vehicles wanting to join the race. They're coming on in. I know it seems like a little bit of a disadvantage because it seems like they're a little bit further up the pack, because where they got on, they didn't run the full race. But needless to say, that's what makes this racetrack a little bit interesting. You never know who's in the lead, and you never know who's going to come on into the race. Looking like I thought it was a little congested up there, but it's looking like it's clearing up nicely. So, folks, I believe that would be the end of the race here. Please stay tuned or tune in for our next race. You never know where it might be. Have a good day. Be safe out there, folks. Bye-bye.